Hi, it's Warren Dent with ZenPro Audio. Welcome to Zen-TV Weekly. It is the week of October the 25th. Some of the deals we got going on this week. Safe Sound Audio. This is a brand that I import from the UK for a man named Robert Campbell. Robert was a designer for Knee for many years, as well as Calrac and some other companies. He knows dynamics control really well. I fell in love with his P1, 7-8 years ago now. His peak ride form of compression. Just a three sidechain style compressor with a limiter that just stays out of the way, does such a great job. And a couple of years ago, I was fortunate enough to have his ear and to be able to tell him, these are the things I'd like to see on a compressor. And it started a great conversation. Back and forth we went, and we ended up with the Dynamics Toolbox. And it's not called the Toolbox for nothing. It's got two different modes on board. One's great for tracking, which is the peak ride mode, and then there's the Dynamics tracking mode, which is better for mixing and submixing and things. It's a smoother style of compression. And there's also a limiter on board that makes things nice and easy. It does parallel blend. It was one of the first hot compressors to hit the market. It's a real trend now. That had the actual parallel blend, built on board. It's got a dual internal sidechain EQ for top end and for the bottom end, which is very interesting. You can kind of get a bit of an LA2A-ish thing going on by, say, rolling a lot of the top end response out of the sidechain and changing the way that it compresses top end, or compresses it a little less, kind of like an LA2A. It also has a sidechain listen feature, which is really cool. So you can actually solo the sidechain and hear what you're dialing in if you want to use it for de-essing or keying off of another track, maybe. Long story short, it also has two pairs of transformers that are optional. There's the Souter, big bottom end. It's got a little bit more of a character across the mid-range, just a wonderful, very slight sort of drive to things that it brings, as well as that size. And then there's Lundahl. Lundahl's a transformer company who's always been proud of the fact that they have an extremely low distortion, sound. It's very clean. The Lundahl has that big, wide, slightly sparkly, cleaner than clean sort of sound, which is amazing from a transformer. Between those two right there, it would actually give you 4 outputs on the stereo compressor. You can choose active balanced, or you can choose either pair of the others. Right now, and this is only while supplies last, I am offering the transformers at half price. You're looking at about $150 for a pair of the transformers to add on to a compressor that is built in the UK, that's already straighting for $17.99 here out of ZenPro Audio. It's a fantastic deal. I've never been able to offer the transformers this low. I bought a pretty good bit of them, but the faster they sell, then the deal's going away. So you might want to jump on that. It is a wonderful all-around compressor that can carry you from the beginning of your project through the sub-mixing, through the final mix down, and it can even perform mastering duties. You should check out Bob Katz's comments that are linked from the page on the website also. Clipalator news this week. The Clipalator turns 50 pieces of gear, including a couple mics that I've gotten there. I've just added the 50th folder filled with audio and video files for you to check out in the Clipalator. I'm very proud of that. I'm currently uploading, while making this video, I've got 4 pieces of gear that I want to mention that are finally uploading. A couple I've been working on for a while. The KuSh Audio Clariphonic EQ. Wonderful box. One of the big not drawbacks, but holdups for me uploading it was like, how do you display this thing and be fair about it at all? What we decided to do was, there are 2 different sections. We decided to show you every setting from each section separately on a mix. And since Greg suggested for vocals, and I agree, it can be really sweet sounding and airy on vocals, I went ahead and did a female vocal track on there also. So you've got a lot of different ways to listen to the Clariphonic EQ with our mix bus stuff that we have posted, plus that one vocal. LaChapell Audio, the 503 EQ. This is a very tight sounding EQ with fairly narrow bands. Does a wonderful job at cutting. Things like drums, which require some nice gouging and all, man, it really does a great job. You can hear that in the Clipalator right now too. Another long coming, the A-Design's EM-PEQ. Finally got Peter off his butt and got a unit out here for demo. Man, you got to hear what that thing can do to a drum bus, to final mix. Listen to what the kick drum does on this sucker. And it's got that electric top end. You know, that's his solid state 500 series Pultec EQ. And finally, TubeTech. I've got the MEC1A in here, which has their more full-range Pultec style EQ that you've got total control over the mid-range as well for cutting and boosting. Wow, beautiful unit. As well as their optical compressor, you know, like the CL1B. So it's the channel strip, and I've gone ahead and tested both the compressor and the EQ, and I'm uploading those to the web right now. You can go check those out in the Clipalator. What a smooth optical compressor as well in that TubeTech, and you know, that auto mode is just, it's just great. It's so easy to dial in and get things going. So that's the big stuff that's going on at ZenPro Audio this week, and I'm very, very proud to be bringing 50 pieces of gear of information out with the Clipalator now. I just think that's very cool. A lot of work goes into that. As always, you can click around, you know, the site and contact us, and I'll personally get you taken care of on there. And keep in mind that we work very hard around here to bring you gear now and Zen.